Cool guys, so I'm joined here with Elrise. She is our new email marketing specialist. She's just joined the team, which we're super stoked about. Today we're going to break down a couple of insights that we've been seeing kind of from her side in regards to what we're seeing working with email marketing for our clients, because you may or may not know, we do offer email marketing for some of our paid ads clients. And then I should hopefully be able to provide some interesting takes on the paid ad side of things as well. And I think like what I want to cover today is kind of how they work together. So Elrise, welcome.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
No worries. So I think first things first, we should probably start with like, how have you found kind of coming into a paid ads agency? Like, I feel like that must be quite interesting for you, like previously working at email marketing exclusive agencies. How has it been like being able to communicate with the team and actually, I guess, having the benefit of seeing a bit more traffic being driven to the opt-in forms and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I do really think these two funnels work so well together, because I have experienced, seeing a bit of like the slow side of getting traffic to the websites, and then it makes my job so much more difficult. So since joining here, I could really see the benefits of and actually the logic behind how these two different funnels work hand in hand, and it has definitely made a difference when I with the traffic to the websites and how the flows perform, the list growth, all of that.
Yeah, 100%. And so I guess like because I think there might be a lot of people watching this that really don't know much about email marketing. Like we very much live in like the little kind of paid ads corner of the internet. So I guess first things first, we've got to start at the opt-in form, don't we? Because that is essentially how you connect paid ads to email marketing. It's having a really good pop-up form when people land on the site. So could you talk maybe about a couple of best practices that we're implementing there and that we're seeing work?
Yeah, sure. So once you get onto the website, it's important to have the pop-up, because this is what's going to drive you into the first automated email sequence, which is the welcome flow. And I usually make use of a 3-step pop-up. So it will be something like that creates some curiosity, like, do you want a mystery gift? Then usually we all are curious by nature, so you want to kind of see what is this going to be. So then it takes you to the next step, which you will get prompted to enter your email to receive this gift. And then once that is done, you receive your first email sequence, which would be like, welcome, and here's your 10% off with the code.
Yeah, nice, awesome. The mystery gift angle is really interesting. I'm seeing that work like quite a lot across quite a few different brands. I've just run into it quite a lot as well. What are some like common mistakes that brands make? Like, why is everyone not getting like a 15% opt-in rate? Like, what's holding people back?
I do think some people don't get the timing right. I think the timing delay that you said on the pop-up is really important. Some brands have it where it pops up immediately. I mean, you haven't even looked at what this website has to offer, and then you kind of get overwhelmed with this sign up form, which can feel a bit aggressive. So it's important to have like a 5 to 9 second time delay there, just so that they can get a feel of what's actually going on this website, and then easing them into that.
And then it's kind of a lose-lose, isn't it, if it comes up too quickly? Because not only does it disrupt them getting into the email side of things, but it also disrupts them just coming from the paid ad itself and like being on the site exactly. As a shopper, you're like, which is super interesting. So, okay, cool. So when it comes to the welcome flow specifically, I don't think we need to go like through the whole thing, but like, is there like maybe one or two things that you're seeing work quite well now, or that you think are like some strong best practices?
Yeah, I think sometimes what some brands do wrong is that they, you get part of the first welcome email, and it's just like, cool, here's your offer, there you go. And this is really like this is where your customers are the most engaged or interested. So I think a lot of people miss the opportunity to really engage with their audience. And instead of just giving them the offer and the welcome code, to try and connect to them, give them the benefits, tell them like how the brand was established. That's really important to make sure it's not just this first of purchase, like I'm using my welcome code and then never coming back again, but really connecting to them so that we can create the opportunity for them to become a repeat customer.
Yeah, 100%. And for those of you who are new to flows in general, just a quick explanation. Like, and this is useful for if you're a media buyer, agency, ecom brand owner. It's just really good to know this stuff. You've got obviously your flows, which are the automated email sequences that trigger on certain actions, and then you've got campaigns, which we might talk about in a second here, which are to do with just scheduled email campaigns that you send out periodically throughout the month in order to kind of get a certain action from the customer. And it's crazy, isn't it? Because we get to see inside so many brands that come through, because obviously we sign quite a high volume of clients. Subtle flex, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so we get to see inside, and I think like there's so many accounts where they're just like, it's either one or the other, isn't it? It's like either they don't have any flows. We've seen that so many times, or they have some basic flows, but they're not sending campaigns. Like, it's even in 2025, it's actually very rare for us to come across a brand where they're doing both really well. Would you agree?
Yeah, no, totally. There's usually like the one is performing well and the other is not optimized at all. And ideally, you want like a 60-40 split, whether it's with flows or campaigns, but there needs to be a bit of a balance so that you can get the most out of your email marketing channel.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. But it doesn't matter which way it is. Like, it could be 60 flows, 40 campaigns, or vice versa. It's still okay, right?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah,
Interesting.
exactly.
Yeah. And then when it comes to like overall email revenue as well, I think this, like, people have different opinions on this, don't they? But where are you like, I guess, pleased to see it at when it comes to, percentage of revenue?
Well, ideally, you want to see like a 30%. That's considered to be really a good performance. But I mean, this is also brand specific. If it's a high ticket item that's being sold, you might not see the same kind of thing, or if the audience is not that big, or there's a lot of different factors. But ideally, you'd want to like aim for 30. But again, brand dependent. Sometimes you'll see 20% or 15%, and that might still be good momentum. So it's all dependent on the brand, but we're aiming for 30 always.
Yeah, and something that me and my head of sales have picked up quite a bit is sometimes actually like getting on calls with people and they've got like too high percentages of email revenue. So like we'll hop on with brands that are very successful, but they'll be like, oh yeah, we have like 40% plus of our revenue coming through email. And what that tells us is that actually we could probably be pushing harder on paid ads. If that's the case, because, I think 40% is maybe too high, to the point where, you maybe it's a case of like, we could actually be getting more revenue through pushing harder on cold traffic. Because of course, I guess you don't want to, be over reliant on your existing customers for your revenue. You obviously want it to be a healthy mix between new customers and existing customers, right?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. It just means like some other avenue is not optimized the way it should be.
Yeah, 100%. So I guess maybe let's move on and talk a little bit about like the campaigns, because we could talk all day about flows. There's like, obviously I won't get too deep into it, but what we do at Paid House is we'll set up, I think it's like the 6 or 7 core flows, right?
Yeah, it's 8 core flows that
8.
consist out of 23 emails. And then
Yeah.
when it comes to the campaign side of things, we usually do like a frequency of like 3-4 per
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, got you. Okay, cool. So we've got the flows. Once those are set up, typically we'll move into campaigns. Quick question on this, actually, that I'm curious to know. What is like the minimum kind of required list size to get a good return on campaigns, in your opinion?
This is a hard question because I've seen a smaller list of one of our customers, actually. Smaller list, but it's a very engaged list. And when I initially saw the list size, I think it was about 3,000. I was like, oof, this is much smaller than all of our other clients' lists. And I was a bit worried initially. But from the first like warm-up email I've sent, the engagement and conversion have been really great. So I wouldn't really say under 3,000. But again, this surprised me as well. So it's all dependent on how engaged your list actually is. If you have 100 people that is super engaged and into like, buying frequently, then that's going to be better than an unengaged list of like 5,000. So
Yeah, that's interesting. And then how do you keep your customers engaged? How do you craft like a good list?
Well, this is now through the pop-up, I'd say, and then obviously this is where the paid ads come in to drive that traffic to your website.
And I guess not spamming them as well, right? Like if you burn them,
Yeah.
that's a big issue.
Yeah, that's why segmentation is so important. I think, sometimes what brand owners forget about is that they think the best approach is to just blast promotions to a whole list, where in fact that's actually the the most incorrect way you can go about it. It's important to, let's say a brand haven't sent emails in a long time. It's important to warm up their list, because if you all of a sudden just start like sending three, four emails a week, it might feel too aggressive of an approach. That's why it's important to see who's mostly engaged, segment according to that behavior. Most like 7 day engaged, 14-day engaged, and then once the list is warmed up you can branch out to like your 30, 60, 90-day engaged. But segmentation is so important. I rarely send out to the whole email list. It's based on their behavior, demographics, and so forth, and according to that it makes sure also that the targeting is relevant, and that's how you make sure it converts.
Nice. Awesome. And then I think like lastly, before we wrap up, I want to touch a little bit more on campaigns. So we've kind of gone through the full stack. Like, okay, you gotta get a good opt-in, try something a little bit different with maybe a mystery form. Don't just go for the basic stuff. Ensure that your opt-in's over 10%. And if you're not doing this, you're literally throwing your paid ads traffic, up against the wall, because from a paid advertiser myself, like, it's funny. Brand owners will look at the ROAS in like Facebook ads, or they'll look at the ROAS in Google ads. But actually, if you think about it, your total ROAS goes up by so much once you start doing email marketing, because you've paid for a customer through paid ads. But once they opt into your list, suddenly you can make all this extra money out of them. And so your back end ROAS is actually like, could be a 5, 6, 7, 8x. So it's a no brainer. But yeah, so we went through flows, went through a little bit about building a good list and like obviously doing the segmentation thing. In regards to campaigns, is there anything that you're seeing working quite well there? Is there any like kind of nuggets that you want to share in terms of like campaigns that you should be sending?
First of all, it's important to send a mix of a promotional. There's a bunch of different angles you can follow. So promotion is obviously one, but you can't just send promos. So it's good to have a like balance of benefit focused campaigns, objection handling, some testimonials, goal focused, good mix of all of that, so that you provide value to your customer as well. So that you don't just want to make someone feel like I'm just trying to get a hard sell all the time. And I think quarter 1 and 2 is like a lot of holidays and a lot of promos around those holidays. So now recently I've seen that the value-based campaigns where you really educate a customer, or send out a plain text from the founder, like a founder's note style, works really well in creating that trust. And once the trust is there, it's also easier to convert them. So that's important to remember that.
Nice. Well, I will not steal up too much of your time, more of your time, Elrise. Thank you so much for hopping on today. Hopefully you guys found that valuable. Like I know obviously we've got a big paid ads audience here, but it's so important to remember your email marketing. If you do need any help with your email marketing, we do that now. You can work with lovely Elrise here, so you can click the link below and come and have a chat with us. But if you just want to keep getting a nice amount of free value, then you can do that just by hitting subscribe and giving this video a like. And yeah, thank you very much, Elrise.
Thank you.